Alright, I don't usually cover this kind of stuff just because there isn't much to leaks aside from some listings or someone saying something that might be in the know. But oh my god, you guys, Bay is back in Studio Series. This is so freaking awesome. Yes, there is more than just the Bay stuff in these listings, and I'll cover a little bit of it, but Studio Series is going hashtag back to basics. So let's get started with the Bay stuff. First up is the deluxe Dark of the Moon hatchet. I talked about this in the What Happened to Studio Series, but it seemed like Hatchet maybe was canceled or something like that, so it's very nice to see him popping up here again. And it's just so crazy that it's been so long since we first saw anything from Hatchet, because I did that reveal video for him and Hound back in October of 2022. Now apparently those weren't supposed to get out there, you know, it wasn't an official reveal, but hey. Then next up is also Dark of the Moon Q, or Wheeljack, whichever you prefer. He is Q, but I have no problem calling him Wheeljack. I think he's been more of a Wheeljack than almost any other version in terms of personality in the past like 10-15 years, something like that. But in any case, like Hatchet, he's a deluxe, and I'm very excited to see what they do with him. I like that first Dark of the Moon deluxe. Obviously it sucks never got a proper release over here in the US, but I'm just very excited to see what they do with this design, especially since it should be more movie accurate. Then last for deluxes, there is the Age of Extinction Widowmaker. Now I'm assuming this is a part of the concept line, which hey, I do think this is cool. Granted, there are some that I wish were maybe first before Widowmaker for Bay in the concept part of Studio Series, but this is still a decent one to start off with. This was a very early version of Stinger, and I always thought this design was kind of neat, if a bit too human-like. Granted, that's kind of what Age of Extinction was doing for whatever reason, especially with the face designs. So not much to really say here, but hope it turns out pretty cool, and I'm just excited to see the concept side of the Bay movies get explored. And then probably the biggest thing here is the Age of Extinction Leader Class Optimus Prime. Now I'm assuming this is going to be the Knight design. I don't really feel like they need to do the evasion mode as a leader, and it is cool that it specifically says TF4 Optimus, so I'm kind of assuming this one might have the pre-recognize one of your Knight's arms. Then of course they could do new arms for a Last Knight version. I do kind of doubt that they would do something like swappable arms, although that would be kind of neat. I'm interested to see how they tackle this design at a mainline leader class price point. Even though it's flawed, I do think the Age of Extinction Voyager Galvatron turned out very well. But I do feel like if they can do Galvatron at a Voyager, they can definitely do Optimus as a leader, especially with his accessories. So yeah, I'm very excited to see this one. Hopefully it turns out good. And then last, this isn't really anything new, but they're going to be re-releasing the leader Dark of the Moon Shockwave. I've heard that he was kind of hard to find for some people, so you know, this is a great way to get him, even though of course we've gotten a few KOs recently. But hey, if you want an official, here you go. Now there's also a good bit of stuff from the TF1 animated movie. Not too much here for me to really go by, especially since I don't know what these characters look like, so not too much excitement from me, but hey, I'm still interested to see them. We're still getting a few more what I assume are the Gamer Edition stuff with War for Cybertron, Skywarp, and Thundercracker, and an Autobot Soldier, which I assume is going to be the generic from the War for Cybertron game, which hey, that's super cool. I'm really excited for the Autobot Soldier. There's also going to be a War for Cybertron Ironhide. I mean, that Ironhide design is alright, so I'm sure it'll make a good figure. But then the other big thing from this is it looks like they're going to be doing Devastator in SS86, which hey, that's one even I would be a little interested in, as annoyed as I kind of can be about Studio Series 86. I think a new mainline Devastator would be pretty cool. It's definitely been long enough since the last one was Combiner Wars. Then there's a few other live action things from, you know, Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast. There's going to be a deluxe Double Punch, who will basically just be a repainted Scorponok. I'll be very interested to see what they do here. Maybe a slight army builder, who knows. There's also what's called a Movie 6 Bumblebees. This would be a Bumblebee movie Bumblebee. Is it going to be the Camaro version, because that's the only one we haven't seen in Studio Series, or they may be remaking one of the older ones, like say the Volkswagen Bumblebee. I don't dislike the Volkswagen mold like a lot of people seem to, but I definitely wouldn't mind seeing a new version. I'm kind of leaning towards it being the Camaro version seen at the end of the movie myself, but hey, be cool to find out. And then lastly, for Rise of the Beast, there's going to be a leader class Ape Link. Pretty much just going to be a remold of the Studio Series leader Optimus Primal. I'm very interested to see this. We only saw Ape Link in his gorilla mode, so they could kind of just do whatever for the robot mode. The gorilla mode should look pretty cool with all of those changes that Ape Link has to his gorilla form. Kind of sucks that he's coming out out so late, but I mean, he was a late addition to the movie thanks to that intro being a overall late addition, so I kind of get it. But hey, at least he's coming out at all. So overall, this news, especially with the Bay stuff, is very exciting, especially since I just uploaded that What Happened to Studio series last month, and first, I got a great response from all of you guys, so thank you very much. There's been stuff for months now, like the hashtag Back to Basics, and it's just cool to see this happening just because the Bay stuff has been in a bit of a drought. Admittedly, even if this isn't as much as I would have liked, it's still very cool to see more than just a core class. And you know, there could be more. These listings are for 2025, so we still got like a year to go. I'm not sure if this is for the whole entire year. I do feel like there's still room for more, but obviously we'll see. But tell me, which of these leaked listings are you most excited for? And what are some other Bay characters that you would like to see in Studio Series after these guys? Let me know down in the comments. And before we go, I wanted to thank Austin Gillis and Schmoptimus Prime. They're my highest tiers on Patreon, so thank you. And as always, I want to give a big thanks to everyone for watching, and have a good one.